Colleagues, can you turn on your cameras so we can check for quorum?
I can confirm quorum.
Okay, colleagues, I'm going to call the meeting to order because the mayor has indicated that he will be arriving a little bit late and asked me if I could do so. The clerk has confirmed that I'm allowed to, so I'm going to call the 15th special meeting of SPPC committee to order. I'm going to read a land acknowledgement. The City of London is situated on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabeg, Haudenosaunee, and Lenni Pequot and Attawandaron. We honor and respect the history, languages, and culture of the diverse Indigenous people who call this territory home. The City of London is currently home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people today. As representatives of the people of the City of London, we are grateful to have the opportunity to work and live in this territory. I'll also mention that the City of London is committed to making every effort to provide alternate formats and communication supports for meetings upon request. To make a request specific to this meeting, please contact sppc@london.ca or 519-661-2489, extension 2425. With that, I would look for any disclosures of pecuniary interest. Okay, seeing none, we have two consent items. The first is the permission to have an inaugural meeting outside of City Hall. And the second is the sixth report of the Diversity, Inclusion, Anti-Oppression Community Advisory Committee. Does anybody want to deal with those separately, or can we move them together? Let me know if you'd like to deal with them separately. Okay, I don't see anybody looking to deal with them separately, so I'll look for a mover for both consent items. I see Councillor Helmer, seconded by Councillor Van Meerbergen. Discussion on the two consent items. Okay, seeing none, we'll open those consent items for voting.
Councillor Sully voting manually, yea, Mr. Chair.
Councillor Pelosa. Councillor Pelosa. Closing the vote, the motion's passed 11-0.
Thank you. We have no scheduled items, but we do have one item for direction. This is the seventh report of the Diversity, Inclusion, and Anti-Oppression Community Advisory Committee. It is an item under for direction because there is a component of this report that includes the Diversity, Race Relations, and Inclusivity Awards, including a number of organizations that are being recommended to being awarded in that category. So I would look for a mover of the motion. If you want to see what the motion says, you can see it in eScribe, and then we can open discussion. Moved by Councillor Hamou, seconded by Councillor Fife-Miller. Discussion or questions on this report? I'll just give everybody a chance to see the motion. Maybe I'll read it out so that the public at home can hear the great things we're considering. The following actions be taken with respect to the 2022 Diversity, Race Relations, and Inclusivity Award. The Jess Jones Recreational Therapy be awarded the 2022 Diversity, Race Relations, and Inclusivity Award in the Small Business, Small Labor category, which is a category of 49 or fewer employees. That Amazon Delivery Station be awarded in the Large Business, Large Labor category, which is 50 or more members. that ATN Access Inc. be awarded in the social community services, including not-for-profits category of 49 or fewer members, and that the London Air Show be awarded in the category of social community not-for-profit with more than 50 members. And then also receipt of the subcommittee's report with respect to these recommendations. Any questions on that? Okay, we'll open that for voting.
Manually one more time, Mr. Chair. Yay.
Closing the vote, the motion is passed 12-0.
Okay, we have no for deferred matters and no additional business. Given this is a special meeting, there's no ability to add additional business. That moves us into the confidential portion of the agenda. So I will look for a motion for colleagues to move into camera. I see Councillor Hopkins, seconded by Councillor Hillier, and we will open that for voting.
Councillor Lee, yay one more time.
Closing the vote, the motion's passed 12-0.
We'll just wait a minute until we get the room situated. Okay, we're back in public session. I'm going to note that the mayor is here, and I will turn the chair of this meeting over to the mayor and let him know that the item we're on is adjournment number 7.
I think that's an item, Deputy Mayor, I can handle fairly well. I'll do my very best. Before I do, as is my custom, I'd like to pay an acknowledgement to our staff. You know, this is notwithstanding the fact that we are in the, do we call it, Councillor Lewis, the dying days of this administration or the slowing days?
I would think, Your Worship, that the twilight hours
The twilight,
might be an appropriate descriptor.
some are in the twilight zone, some are in the autumn days. But listen, colleagues, I was a little delayed because of the sitting on the police services committee board meeting, and I did virtual, and then I went in person for the last part. That caused me to be a little delayed, but it made me appreciate, as I acknowledged the great work that our London Police Service does, and I acknowledged our chief, who has announced his retirement, Deputy Chief Betts, who has announced his retirement. But, you know, with all the stresses and all, I do want to give a shout out to our London Police Service. I think, frankly, member for member, when I consider being on the board of the Big City Mayors of Canada and the Ontario Big City Mayors, we've got a force police service that I think all London can be proud of. And Ms. Livingston, could I ask you please to extend our sincere appreciation to all of our staff. We have this opportunity when we have a committee of the whole, as we do with SPPC, and we're very grateful for the work that they do, and I just want to say thank you. And with that, I'll look for a motion to adjourn. I see Councillor Hopkins, seconded by Councillor Lewis. Can we do a show of hands, clerk? Would that be all right? All right, for those who want to leave by show of hands, please say so.
That motion is carried.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Meeting adjourned.